welcome to World Desk on Niger Live TV, reaching you from Bielsa's capital city, Yanagwa. My name is Barbie Mkparu, and I'll be bringing the world closer to home. But before we dive into the headlines, a quick update for our viewers and partners. Niger Live TV is officially open for business. If you are looking to boost your brand through paid adverts or sponsorships, we are ready to partner with you. You can contact us on our studio line on 081 293 40000. For physical consultations, visit our head office on number 122 Mbiama Yanagwa Road, Amarata Yanagwa, Bielsa State. And don't forget to stay connected. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X at Niger Live TV, or visit our website on www.nigerlivetv.com. Now, the headlines. Governor Diri promotes peace, supports Tinubu and Delta Governor re-election bid. Federal government trains, empowers 100 youths in culinary hospitality skills. NCDC raises alarm over imminent cholera outbreak in 10 states. South Africa's opposition leader sentenced to 5 years over firearm offense. In the news, Bielsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has commended the unity of Ijaw people in Delta State, describing it as essential for the progress and development of the ethnic group. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Daniel Alabra, the governor made the remarks at Bomadi during a grand reception in honor of Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Obuwari, organized by Delta political leaders. Governor Diri said the unity of the Ijaw people would make it easier for them to be heard and taken seriously while assuring them of his support. He also hailed the performance of Governor Sharif, noting that his developmental strides in Ijaw communities and across the state justifies his call for re-election. He stressed the need for Niger Delta leaders to prioritize service over personal interests and disclosed plans to explore collaboration with his Delta counterpart on a bridge project linking Ijaw communities in both states. In a remark, Governor Sharif, who was conferred with the traditional title Izon Ebimiowe of Delta State, thanked the Ijaw people for the honor, describing the reception as a homecoming. He acknowledged his support over the years. He said over 400 billion naira has been spent on developing Ijaw communities and pledged to sustain the momentum through more infrastructure and appointments. Other speakers, including the chairman of the organizing committee, Honorable Fonkekeme Solomon, and former Minister of Police Affairs, Alawe Broderick Bozimo, described the event as a show of appreciation for the governor's performance. Also speaking, Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Emomotimi Gowo, and President of the Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Okaba, commended Governor Sharif's leadership and reaffirmed support for both him and President Bola Tinubu. The high point of the event was the endorsement of Governor Sharif and President Tinubu for a second term by Ijaw political leaders, with the motion moved by Honorable Julius Ponde, seconded by Honorable Kenneth Oboro, and adopted by voice votes. From Bielsa, attention shifts to national development as the Nigeria Center for Disease Control raised alarm over a possible cholera outbreak in 10 states, including Adamawa, Enugu, Kaduna, Kogi, Niger, Osun, Oyo, Plateau, Taraba, and Kwara states. In a statement, the agency said the warning followed flood predictions by the Federal Ministry of Environment and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, indicating that the affected states are likely to experience heavy rainfall and flooding between April 13th and 17th. Noted that cholera cases are already on the rise in vulnerable states, attributing the trend to the rainy season and possible contamination of food and water resources. According to the agency, recent national surveillance data show increasing cholera activity across multiple states, warning that flooding could worsen the situation through contamination of drinking water, disruption of sanitation systems, and increased exposure to unsafe environmental conditions. It, however, emphasized that the threats and risks are preventable with early actions. Still on the home front, the federal government has trained and empowered 100 young Nigerians in culinary and hospitality skills under the Innovation, Development and Effectiveness in the Acquisition of Skills initiatives as part of efforts to tackle unemployment and bridge critical skills gaps. The 6-month program, implemented by Masterminds Catering and Culinary Institute Academy in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Education and the World Bank, combined intensive classroom learning with practical industry experience. At the closing ceremony in Abuja on Wednesday, the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, Khadijat Fashani, said the Academy was established to address a shortage of skilled professionals in the hospitality and catering sector. She noted that there was a major skills gap in the industry, which had negatively affected many entrepreneurs, adding that the initiative was designed to bridge that gap. Mrs. Fashina explained that the training structure ensured participants gained both theoretical knowledge and real-world exposure. She added that at the end of the program, beneficiaries are better positioned to start their own businesses or become more employable. According to her, participants were trained under the National Skills Qualification Framework to ensure standardized competency-based certification. Meanwhile, indigenous carriers under the aegis of the Airline Operators of Nigeria have issued a notice to withdraw flight services if the federal government fails to intervene in the sharp increase in aviation fuel prices. The operators said the price of aviation fuel has risen from 900 naira per litre to over 3,300 naira per litre, describing the hike as astronomical and unwarranted. In a statement by its president, Alhaji Abdulmanaf Yunasi Sarina, the association noted that the product has increased by over 300% since February 28 till 2026. The group also notified the officers of the President, Vice President, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, and the Director General of the Department of State Security Services, raising concerns over what is described as an artificial increase not commensurate with global crude oil price trends. On the foreign scene, South African opposition leader Julius Malema has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for firing a rifle in the air at a political rally, a ruling that could affect his position in parliament. The 45-year-old remained in court in Kugompo City as magistrates considered whether to accept an appeal against the sentence, with uncertainty over whether the process would delay his transfer to prison. Malema, leader of the far-left Economic Freedom Fighters, the fourth largest party in parliament, was convicted last year on multiple charges following the incident at a stadium in Eastern Cape Province in 2018. Delivering the judgment, Magistrate Toinette Olivia said allowing crimes to go unchecked poses a serious threat to the democratic state. The court sentenced Malema to 5 years for unlawful possession of a firearm and additional 2 years for unlawful possession of ammunition. In the world of entertainment, Nigeria's global music influencer has once again taken center stage as Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Rema earned nominations in the Afrobeat category at the 52nd American Music Awards. The three artists were shortlisted for Best Afrobeat Artist, reinforcing Nigeria's dominance in the genre on the global stage. The nominations were announced ahead of the awards ceremony scheduled for Monday, May 25th, 2026 at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. The event will be hosted by Queen Latifah, with winners to be determined through public voting via the AMA's website and social media platforms. Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Rema will compete against South African singer Tyla and Ghanaian American artist Molly in the category, with strong expectations of support for their global fan base. The American Music Awards, produced by Dick Clark Productions since 1974, remains one of the few major platforms where winners are decided directly by fans based on metrics including sales, streaming, and airplay. And that concludes the news on this hour. You have been watching World Desk on Niger Live TV. My name is Barbie Mkparu. Thank you for watching.